people ask, well, what version do I get? Because there's actually 3 variants for the precision stock. So there's a short, a medium, and long.
I'm Ryan Gresham, and this is Gun Talk Nation. This Gun Talk Nation is brought to you by SecureIt, SDS Imports, Aero Precision, Range Ready, and Ruger. Hey, welcome to Gun Talk Nation. Today on the show, Mark Keller, B5 Systems. Welcome in, man.
Thank you.
All right.
Happy to be here.
So B5 Systems, you guys, it's kind of funny. We were talking about this before we started, and you guys are kicking butt, but it's like this for the 100 million gun owners out there. There's probably like a couple million super gun nerds who probably listen to this show who are like, oh yeah, B5. But for some people don't know. I mean, who are you guys? What do you do?
Yeah, absolutely. One, thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really appreciate it. So B5 was founded late 2008. We were really just a defense contract manufacturer.
Okay.
So small family business, just made various widgets for the government.
What was something weird you guys made?
Oh man,
was it all military? Or is it just other stuff?
mostly military.
Okay.
So everything from wiring harnesses and landing gear assemblies, and all kinds of different stuff. Just making stuff, aerospace, defense, and late 2010, early 2011, we got a contract for the SOPMOD buttstock, which is the standard issue stock for U.S. Special Operations. So we've maintained that contract. Since that time, we've delivered hundreds of thousands of SOPMOD stocks to U.S. military and friendly forces, allies around the globe.
Awesome.
And since that time, really have developed a kind of niche and growing customer base in the industry.
Now, you guys are known for high quality, but some people may say, oh, polymer product, whatever. Were you doing polymer stuff before you started this? I mean, because you've gotten really good at that.
Yeah, we have gotten good at it. Again, kind of that defense manufacturing lineage. We did a little bit of everything. So had a machine shop, we did assembly.
Okay.
So we still do those things. So just really knowing, I think at its core, knowing who the end user is.
Yeah.
Knowing who our customers are, knowing that our product is gonna go into harm's way. Mm-hmm. Both in the design and the manufacturing, we take that to heart, and so we design our products to those standards.
And obviously, if you guys are providing these products to the military, I think they have to be made in the USA, right?
Yeah, they do. So all of our products are made in the U.S. The products that we supply to the average gun owner, to your listeners, are the exact same product, same material, same quality that we deliver to our government customers.
There's not like a consumer version.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay.
Some companies do that. We do not.
Gotcha.
So we have the military come to us, with large contracts, and they buy lots of pieces. We will have individual units and say, hey, we need 8 of these or 20 of these or whatever, or they'll just call us up or order off the website, and so it's the exact same product. Cool.
Talk about the testing, because something that we were talking about is, and I've heard some wild stories. I mean, like I remember a company who got the contract for AR mags many moons ago, 10 plus years ago. And they were like, you don't understand. Like the testing they're making us do is like 500 rounds of full auto through each mag. It was just like bonkers, like millions of rounds of ammo. So I know that they probably have some strange or rigorous requirements.
Yeah, they do. And so there's all kind of testing, and there's military standards to that various products, this product line would be required to test to. And that's everything from extreme environmental to temperature,
like what? Like what's kind of
negative 60 degrees up to 140 plus.
And that's tricky for polymer, right?
So it can be. It can be. So, there's certain materials that would not hold up to our design or the functionality. So there's
too cold, it gets brittle, maybe.
Yeah, that's exactly
hot,
right.
It's bendy.
Correct. That's exactly right. And people are like, well, we're never in that. We have soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines deployed around the globe.
Yeah, you leave your M4 on the hood of your Hummer in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that's
It's
exactly
going to get
right.
hot,
You know,
like
that's
really hot.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And besides just the military, you know, in the trunk of a police car,
Sure.
in Texas, it's going to get really hot.
Yeah.
You know, so these are the things that we test our product to, and you know, both the testing, the formalized stuff, as well as just real world. You know, when you give a rifle to an 18, 20-year-old soldier, they're going to do 18, 20-year-old things. It really is, you know, making it GI proof.
Yeah, jarhead proof, GI proof. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's what they always say. Just give it to one of those privates.
give it to a 20-year-old Marine.
Yeah.
He'll break anything.
Which is cool, right? And then you probably get stories back on that.
Yeah,
those
absolutely.
types of things too, right?
Absolutely. Tons of feedback. We're very proud of the customer base that uses our product, both commercial and military, but spend a lot of time with the military and get that direct feedback of, hey, you know, use this product on this deployment or use it on this mission. And something that we're very, very proud of, something that we instill, you know, everyone that's on our team, you know, the people that are making parts on the floor, you know, we'll do all staffs. And I get it's not the most exciting thing that, hey, I'm assembling this stock or I'm pinning this hardware, but really try to instill and drive home the point that our product is being carried into harm's way.
Yeah.
And because of that, it has to be right,
Yeah.
you know, each time, every time. So again, extremely proud of that fact that, you know, that customer base has the ability to use any product in the world, and they are using our product.
Sure. Yeah, that's very cool. Let's talk about what we have here. This is obviously adjustable. What do you call this? Adjustable
So
stock.
this is our collapsible precision stock.
So, I mean, just off the bat, I'm looking at it for those who aren't watching this, just listening to it. Adjustable length of pull, adjustable comb height.
Correct.
And it seems very, as far as something that has moving parts,
Sure.
which starts to get a little concerning, moving parts on a gun, on a stock, it seems very robust. It
Sure.
seems solid as hell.
Yeah, so it took a lot of designing to make that work and have all the feature points that we put into it. So anytime we design product, that I'm designing product, it's not just, hey, we should make this or we should do that. It's really, how can we make our product better? How can we add utility and functionality, improved performance, ergonomics, et cetera, to the rifle? So the collapsible precision is just that. So engineering around the receiver extension, you know, took a lot of testing, took a lot of trial and error, trying to hitting the sweet spots of tolerances. You know, we work with a wide array of manufacturers, and you know, our products are mil spec. Well, there's a military specification to the M4, to the AR-15, but some of those specs are pretty wide, and we have to try to optimize our parts to interface and work with those guns. So this product, especially, very proud of, knowing the customer that asked for it and started with the development to where it's now. So an adjustable comb, an adjustable butt pad, fits on a standard carbine or a longer receiver extension, the A5 and 110K, et cetera. But little things that are different for us. There's 10 spring-loaded ball bearing detents. So precision stock needs a precision feel. So helps to make the stock more snug on your individual rifle carbine extension. The adjustment, for example, everything we make is monochromatic in our colorways. So we have 5 standard colorways.
Yeah, lots of colors.
Yeah, black, flat dark earth, coyote brown, olive drab, wolf gray, and then we also do in-house Cerakote and water transfer printing.
Okay.
So, you know, a lot of times people pick up a stock and be like, oh, that's a polymer piece. Like, no, it's actually metal.
Everything looks the same though. It's like color match.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we're the only company in the industry that does that, that color matches all of our parts. So everything is monochromatic.
Yeah,
so
because I asked you earlier, I was like, is this polymer? You go, no, that's a metal insert.
Yeah, so
it's just it looks exactly
right.
the same.
Yeah, so we do things that are really different by design, we like to say. And really, you know, better. It creates a better product. So, you know, we do things that frankly are more expensive for us, and that as a manufacturer, we eat that cost to, again, knowing where our product is going, that it's going and it's designed for professional end users, that it has to be right. You know, we overmold our QDs, our quick disconnect sling mounts. We were the first to add limited rotation sling mounts to all our Sting.
So it doesn't wiggle.
So it doesn't
while you're
swivel.
carrying
That's
it.
exactly right. And so, people are like, oh, what's the big deal about that? Well, if you have your rifle slung on a military side and you have an airman that's guarding a base, and a V-bed, a car bomb goes off, you want to be able to deploy, get that gun back up in the fight as quickly as you can. And if you're fumbling around to index, your grip because your rifle is moving, like that's a legitimate issue. That's a legitimate concern.
Yeah.
It's the same thing transfers over to law enforcement. If you have your gun slung and you have hands on a suspect, if there's a fight, for example, or even if it translates well over on the commercial side, if you're a hunter, with the advent and the popularity of straight wall hunting rounds, that hey, if I'm spending a lot of time and money and I'm going on a big expensive hunt and you have your gun slung, you want to be able to get it up and on that target so you can harvest that trophy.
Well, something I'm noticing here is the adjustments. So it's these little dials that you can turn. And if you guys listen, I don't even know if they're going to be able to hear it.
Yeah, so very positive.
Right next to the mic, okay? It's very quiet.
Yeah,
and
so it is
for a sniper or a hunter.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Because there's a lot of stocks. It's like click, 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 click,
correct.
click.
So very purposeful in the design of that very strong tactile feel that you can tell when you change.
For sure.
One thing that sets that product apart from other stocks on the market is you have more precise adjustment. You have more fine details, so you really can optimize.
So it's not like 3 levels.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
That's exactly right.
How many adjustments are in this?
So all that stuff kind of really depends a little bit. There's a little bit of variability on the gun that it's mounted on.
Okay.
So people ask, well, what version do I get? Because there's actually 3 variants for the precision stocks. So there's a short, a medium, and long. The stocks, the overall length is exactly the same. The difference is in the length and size of the cheek piece, the cheek comb.
Oh, okay.
And so that's because knowing the various platform. So with
Gotcha.
the increased modularity of the AR-15, people building out, AR-10s, big frame guns, we optimize that. There's a cutout feature on here. There's detents underneath, and we make an accessory cheek piece that you can snap on. Gives you a little extra height, an extra 3 inches of height, but also allows horizontal adjustment to really fine tune the stock to the individual shooter. So everybody's different body types, different facial structure. And again, knowing that, trying to add that utility, those feature points that frankly have been, missing on the market.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to take a quick break. After the break, I want you to tell me, when people are customizing their guns with new furniture, where do they screw up?
Okay.
TSOS USA is quickly becoming a household name. Tons of value in these guns. The one I'm looking at on the website is the 1911 Night Stalker Double Stack SF 9mm. Long name. But yeah, it's a double stack 1911 in 9mm, and the MSRP is $959, which is unbelievable. It also has a very cool gray finish on it that just has a great look to it. Of course, double stack means high capacity, but they have a reputation for quality and value in TSOS 1911s. It also has a polymer grip module, 25 lines per inch checkering on the front and rear, molded texture with aluminum removable magazine well. So tons of extra features in this one. Go check them out. SDS Imports, or just look up TSOS, TISAS, and you'll learn more. Range Ready is where we run our classes, rangereadystudios.com. So go over there to check out the classes and events that we have going on. We've got the Savage Concealed Carry Experience. Oops, sold out. We've got the Crimson Trace Laser Handgun Experience. Oops, that's sold out too. These things go fast. Another little known thing about Range Ready is we will provide you a pistol if you need one for running a class, or even an AR. And HK is one of our partners on that. VP Series pistols available for student use when you sign up, and there's no charge for that. We don't rent you a gun and there's an upcharge. It's just available for your use. So it's a pretty cool deal. Go check it out, rangereadystudios.com. SecureItGunStorage.com. We talk about SecureIt because they make just really cool products, and we have a bunch of them here. We have the lockers, we have some of their agile safes, and when people come into Gun Talk headquarters, we often get that question of like, ooh, what's these? They're all stacked up and it's like a cool wall of storage for your guns and your gear. But they do a good job of providing a lot of different options for storing your goods, gun walls, accessories, and you can kind of customize the configuration inside to really maximize the space for what you want it to work for. So you can learn more over at SecureItGunStorage.com. Ruger, one of the popular ones, one of the kind of cool, fun ones they're doing is the Ruger LC Charger. It's chambered in 5.7 by 28, low recoiling cartridge available in an array of options for target shooting, small game, personal defense. It's kind of a large format pistol, and you kind of have to see it to understand it, but it's a 10.3 inch barrel. So let that sink in for a second. Yes, it's a threaded barrel. Yes, they have a CNC milled handguard that works with M-Lock, full-length pick rail on top for optics. Just a fun, cool gun. The whole thing only weighs 66 ounces. So go check it out over at Ruger.com. New from Ballistic Advantage, they're making SIG P365 barrels now, and they're featuring a SAMI spec chamber. So kind of works with all ammo, which is important. Enhanced factory specs to superior performance, lapped rifling for smoother, more accurate shots, upgraded features, improves reliability, precision, and customization because they have different colors and we have threaded barrels. So that's a really easy swap on a pistol, swapping out the barrel to get more performance from your gun. Go check it out at ballisticadvantage.com. All right, so Mark, you guys make stocks. We've been talking about stocks, but you make other stuff. You make hand guards, You make vertical foregrips, you make the traditional grips and other stuff. So, you sell to the military, you sell to a lot of the OEM guys, meaning like gun manufacturers putting your stuff on there, which we haven't talked about much. But obviously a big part is people customizing their guns.
Right.
And you probably hear from customers over the years, where do people screw up? Where do we, or maybe they go, oh, they didn't think this through, or they get the wrong part, or maybe it's just not the optimized part.
Right. So I think it's like many things, consumers of whether the consumer is educated. Mm-hmm. And there's different levels of consumers. There are, we have customers, not just the professional guys, but we have customers that, and they live, breathe, eat this stuff.
Oh yeah.
And they're phenomenal, and we love it. And they're great ambassadors. There's a reason that we are catching on the way that we are, and we're seeing the growth that we are as a company, and our products are being so well received. So it's not so much the guys that this is their core hobby. There's or profession, frankly, but there's other people that it's like, yeah, I like guns. I'll shoot a couple times a year, but hey, my brother-in-law showed me his AR. I'm watching the news, seeing what's going on. Like, I'm going to go buy one too, and so. I think it's good just for anything, whether you're buying a dishwasher or a new car, just educate yourself a little bit about, what do you want your AR-15, your M4 to do?
It's a good point, because an AR, like, oh, AR, it's an AR-15, whatever. But like an AR is kind of like saying, I'm going to buy a car. Right. Which car should I get? Well, it could be a DMR, designated marksman rifle. It could be like a longer range thing. It could be a short range thing. It could be a hunting. It could be home defense. And those are, you could buy one gun and it could do a lot of those things, but really you could optimize it for what the purpose is. So yeah, I mean, is there something that you hear like, oh, they perhaps chose the wrong part or whatever? Could be something simple.
Yeah, so really, I think the end user, and again, doesn't matter if you're carry a gun for a living, or you want to buy a gun for your wife for home defense, or you want to buy a rifle for your husband for Christmas or home defense, and you may not be, super interested in shooting, but you want to make sure that those guns fit you and they fit your need. So fitting you is really the ergonomics, the features that you want. So the nice thing about the AR is there's so much utility that you can kind of build one rifle that fits many different roles. It probably won't excel or be perfect for any one of those, but let's face it, not everybody has endless resources to do this stuff. Yeah. So, the OEM side, we're going on $400, $500, $600 entry level ARs. Our product is going on $3,000 and $4,000, high end ARs and everything in between. So very proud of the fact that we have that diverse customer array. I think it shows that our product does have those feature points. And so, really tailor it to whoever is going to use that gun. Yeah. Hey, if you're I bought a, entry level AR and I want to customize a little bit. So, get the right stock that interfaces with your body or, the other people in your household, whether that's your kids, your spouse.
Well, adjustability, that's one of the big things.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. And that's one of the great things about the AR platform. It is so modular in nature. And then the feature points that we provide on our product just enhances that, takes it to the next level.
Yeah. One of the things I say when you're going to take your out of the box AR that's maybe sort of mil spec, basic, standard, and you want to upgrade it, I think a trigger is a great place to start. Yep. As far as all the different products you guys offer, is there one that's kind of like the biggest, quickest payoff for a shooter, do you think?
Yeah, I think grips. I think grips are a great way to start. Very inexpensive option, and it's one that can really transform how people shoot.
It's one screw.
It's one screw. Super easy. Really easy super easy to do. It's a low price point. It's probably the most subjective thing you can do on a gun. Again, everybody's built different. Everybody's hands are different sizes, different shapes. And with the feature points that we have, it's an easy kind of initial foray. I think next would be the various stocks that we have.
Yeah. How does a grip, because probably somebody's going, well, like, what's the big deal? But how does your grip help people shoot better or have better experience?
Sure. So the typical grip that will come on most AR-15s at this point is an A2 style grip. So that's a military, again, designation, really kind of the standard grip since the late 70s, 80s. It was the A1 grip and then the A2, very similar. So ours has a steeper grip angle, so it's actually more natural. So it's a less cant, it's less wrist fatigue.
Okay.
And then the other thing that we have, right now we have a 22 model and a 23. The 23 has a large kind of beaver tail on the back. The 22 does not have the back strap or beaver tail that allows a much higher handhold. So again, there's crossover between different styles of shooting. So when you're shooting a handgun, you want a high purchase, control, mitigate that recoil. Right. Really the same thing on an AR-15. Sure. If you really want a fast shooting, gun, you have a red dot, you have an SBR, that would probably be the grip that we would recommend that you put on.
Interesting.
We have a grip plug now for our grips. So just a soft overmolded material, press inside, holds, again, kind of going the utility for what we do. I personally really don't use, grip plugs, but we had so many customers. Yeah, it absolutely. And we had so many customers saying, hey, I want to be able to store stuff. And so, I thought about it. I'm like, we're not just going to make something to make something. It has to be added value, has to be added utility. So designed a grip plug that, water resistant, super durable. It's not going to fall out. But, how we designed it, it'll take AA batteries. It'll take 123A batteries.
Like it holds it.
It physically holds it. So awesome. 2032. Awesome. So all the standard battery sizes that you're going to have for your red dot, that you're going to have for your laser, for your flashlight, any of the accessories that you would put on your gun typically, like, okay, well, now I have some storage for it.
Yeah, that's great.
And if you don't use those things, then okay, that's fine. You can put your SBR paperwork and fold it in there. If you want to put a little oil bottle or cleaning round or whatever. So same thing, we're trying to add utility to the gun and say, hey, there's a feature point that is lacking or missing, or, why don't we do this? And we're doing it. So, same thing. We just worked with a company that made little innovative tools, little accessories for the AR-15. So partnered with them on our Bravo, our SOPMOD, our Bravo C stocks. If you pop the butt pad off, which is designed to be user interchangeable, it's soft, cushiony rubber type material. Yeah, so it gives you a nice grip on the shoulder. But if you after years of service, it wears and damages. Not too long ago we had a group from the special operations community said, "Hey, we want to buy some of these." I'm like, "How's your stocks?" "The stocks are great."
Really?
So stocks in use with really hard charging elite customers.
Awesome.
They're like, "Hey, we want new butt pads." But we designed a little cutout for the multitasker. It's a little M4 specific tool.
Oh, wow.
So that way you always have an M4 specific accessory on your gun.
It goes like inside the buttstock?
Yeah. So we put a little pocket, a little cutout,
wow, that's cool.
little tool. So that way it's like, oh, I'm adjusting my sights. Well, there's a flathead screwdriver on it. If you have a commercial gun, and if you shoot a lot and you've had a commercial gun and you started there, with that kind of entry level AR, and it's like, oh, my castle nut's loose. Well, it's got a little spanner, a little castle nut wrench on there. There is a half inch wrench incorporated into the tool. That is your standard optic size. For most scope mounts. And then there's a stuck case bolt override tool. So again, just adding utility, adding feature points, designing things that other companies haven't, and just seeing, hey, how can we enhance this platform, add utility either to the gun or for the individual user.
I want to go back to something you were talking about, because it's a good point it's a good tip for people. It's something I've been doing for a long time. If you own suppressors or SBRs and you have to have your tax stamp with it all the time, right? Take the original tax stamp, make a copy of it. And if you're going to I like the idea of saying we're going to put it into the grip or into the buttstock or something like that. Now it's like really with the gun.
Sure.
You can like reduce that when you old school printers.
Yep.
Reduce it by 50%. You make it a little bitty tax stamp.
Right.
And that counts. People
Absolutely.
don't know. You don't have to have the physical stamp.
Right.
And keep it with the gun all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah. And then there's a massive, uptick in surge in popularity right now.
Oh, big time.
For, SBRs, for suppressors, quick turnaround times. So
as we sit recording this today in middle of April, the average wait time is 4 days.
It's come down dramatically
for an individual. I think a trust is like 90 days still, but an individual buying a silencer, 4 days to get your tax stamp.
That's awesome. And they're very addictive for people that don't have either short barrel rifles or suppressors. Like once you have them and you realize the utility, you're like, every gun should have a suppressor.
Well, that's where you go, right? You go, okay, you start out thinking, oh, I'm going to get a 30 cal can and I can switch it. And then you realize, wait, I don't want to do all that. Now now instead of buying more guns, I'm buying a suppressor for every gun.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then you have it sighted in, it's done, it's ready to go.
Yep.
That's awesome. So what else? You guys have some new products coming out. What else is coming out?
Yeah, we really do. So again, kind of building upon the history of the SOPMOD stock. So we have multiple stocks at this point. We have a ton of new product coming out. So we have a vertical foregrip, matches the grips that we have. Very aggressive
shorty
texture. Yeah. So it's a short vertical foregrip. It is designed as a foregrip, but designed it again, knowing our kind of core customer base, that you can mount it you can mount it aft, you can use it as an index point, as a hand stop.
Yeah.
So it gives a lot of utility, and the end user can decide how they want to use it.
Yeah, and the M-LOK is like built in.
Yeah, so it is M-LOK compatible. We will come out with a 1913 or Picatinny variant, but releasing the M-LOK version first. It does include the hardware.
It's great.
So yeah, just it's a great utility system. Just turn a screw a couple times and you're set up, so you can really optimize where you want to put it on your individual gun.
All right. So you guys are known for AR M4 furniture.
We are.
Do you do other furniture, and where are we going with that? I'm going to go ahead and ask the question.
Sure,
People are like, wait a minute, I want to customize these other guns.
Yeah. So we this year you will see our foray into other platforms.
Yeah.
So I won't go into detail. Black gun space. I'll say that.
Cool.
So probably the biggest competing platform in that
Cool.
space.
All right.
So again, knowing our military kind of lineage is not just U.S. While it started there, we now supply our parts globally.
Yeah.
And so we have some other platform parts and pieces coming.
Roger that, comrade.
Yeah.
All right. Go check them out. B5 Systems. What's the best way to people to find you guys?
Yeah, so we're on social media, have a pretty active Instagram page. So lots of teasers and candids, and share some of the cool stuff that we're working on. B5systems.com, our website. We have a new website launching here soon.
God help you.
Yeah.
Launching a new website. It's pain and suffering.
We have a lot going on right now. We're growing as a company. We're growing pretty aggressively, which is exciting, and tons of industry support, tons of industry, people getting behind us, and just an increasing customer base. So as people find out and hear who we are and what we're doing and what we're about, and kind of our why.
Yeah.
It's resonating, and it's catching on for a reason.
Awesome. All right. You've got all these different colors. What's your favorite color?
It's going to be this. It's going to be Coyote Brown.
Brown.
Yeah. So this is the color. This is the color we're supplying. Really, kind of the default for U.S. military. We'll still supply black every now and then, but this is a customer, the color that's getting added to all of our government customers. We're supplying that to every service branch at this point. And so this is the color that you want to get. It's very universal.
What about the gray? What do you call the gray?
So wolf gray.
That's me. I like the wolf gray.
It's a great color. It's I probably would not put it necessarily on a duty gun, but it's a very attractive color. It's a color that blends in. We spent a lot of time in color, not just color matching. Again, we have all the hardware. The black is nitride, but the colors are all elite Cerakote. We had all those colors custom made.
Right.
We make sure that the lots of material that come in maintain our color standards, and even developing that color. And we actually worked with a very high end outdoor apparel company. I won't mention their name, but there's a reason we call it wolf gray.
Okay.
And so we got their blessing to co-opt the name, and it is a very handsome color.
Yeah, it looks
you got good taste.
Well, I like blingy things. The eye goes to the blingy things, All right. Well, Mark, thanks for being on with us, man.
Yeah, absolute pleasure.
All right, you guys, go check them out. B5 Systems. That's it for us. We'll see you next time on Gundog Nation. To see all of Gun Talk's content, go to guntalk.com, guntalktv.com, or sign up for the Gun Talk newsletter.